Welcome. This is our time to rest. This is our time to rest and to regulate. Doing this particular practice that I'm going to share with you today has been one of the most transformative practices, specifically around creating spaciousness for myself and creating peace. And from the spaciousness and from the peace, although this isn't the intention, but this is one of the byproducts, I often tend to receive insights, or if not an insight, I will just tend to have a more regulated approach to life, whether there's a heightened situation that needs my attention or whether it's just cooking the dinner. Whatever it might be, whenever I make sure that this pose is part of my routine at some point in the day, if possible, then everything is simply much better. When we're relaxed, everything is easier. So this is a reclined posture, and the conditions that you really want to create for yourself are very important. So we want to make sure that we are warm. We want to make sure that we are that there is a dark environment. So if you're practicing when it's light or there's lights on in the room, then just make sure you've got either an eye pillow, or if you have an eye mask, you can use an eye mask, or you can just wrap a scarf around your eyes. You want to make sure that you are beyond comfortable, like so comfortable that nothing is going to bother you. And then we want to make sure that it's quiet, very quiet. And then we want to, if possible, drop into some form of commitment to stillness. Now, I'm a fidgeter, so I often do fidget in these poses. And just know that that's still my commitment, is to be still if I can. Good. And what we'll see with this practice is a huge benefit, obviously, to the nervous system, because we're giving ourselves the opportunity to just shut off all the stimulation and all the distraction. And also physiologically, what happens is the kind of the hyperactive chemicals, so things like cortisol that run through our body and maybe overrun through our body at times, they all have the opportunity to disperse. So it's actually a kind of a bit of a detoxing practice as well. Good, so let's get to it. So this is the setup that I have created for us. Now, if you don't have yoga props, that's fine. You can just use a couch cushion. You can use books, other cushions, like cushions that you just have over your, on your couch. And if you were using like a big couch, like the back of a couch cushion, you can just prop it against the couch or against a wall. So whatever it is that you need to do to create this setup, that's fine. It doesn't have to be these particular props. This is just to give you the principle of it. So this particular first bolster is at around about 45 degrees. That's the intention, that we have it round about 45 degrees, because if it's too low, there can be a tendency for us to fall asleep. And if it's too high, there can be a tendency for us to stay too alert. And what we're actually looking for is this kind of happy kind of space, or this soft space in between alert and asleep, this kind of hovering in a soft wakefulness. You can use blocks, whatever you need to create that angle. Then you want something for underneath your elbows. So a couple of blocks or cushions can work really, really well for that. You want something underneath your knees. Again, cushions can work well for that. And then something underneath your, see, I've got a rolled up blanket right at the end there. That's to go underneath your ankles. You also want something at your head end. So either a cushion or a blanket, because we want the head, you'll see when I'm in it, we want the head to be slightly tilted with the nose slightly down. So we don't want the chin up or the nose up. This will give too much activation, and what we're looking for here really is softening inwards, bringing everything inwards. You'll also probably want, especially if you're somewhere where it's a bit chillier, you'll want a blanket over you. I'm not going to put a blanket over me, just so that you can see the shape of my body in the pose. So let me get in and I'll show you how it looks on my body. So I snuggle my seat right close to the short edge of the bolster. So there's no gap between the bolster and the back of my seat. I can't get my hand down there. My knees are completely supported by the bolster. The bolster isn't too high up with my thighs, and it isn't too far away. It's exactly supporting underneath the knees. And the blanket allows my heels to hover a little bit. So the reason we do that is because if the heels press into the floor too much, after a certain amount of time, it can just really draw our attention into it. And then I'm going to take 2 blocks underneath my elbows. And I'm going to have another block for my wrists. Now I know this is a lot of props, so please don't be, put off by it. If you need to pause me now and go and get all of everything that you need, then do that. So you have your props, whatever it is, it's worth getting everything in place. It's a bit like, I've heard it described, it's a bit like going on holiday where it's like such a faff to kind of get everything together and pack and make sure the cat's going to be looked after while you're away and all the things. But actually when you step, into your holiday destination, there's an exhale, there's a like, oh, it was all worth it, and hopefully you have a really divine time. So I'm going to lean back onto the bolster, the support of the bolster, and first of all I'm going to attend to my head. So my head wants to be, as I said, at this little tilt, this little kind of angle here. So I'm going to actually fold the blanket so that it's almost making a little nest around my neck and shoulders, which feels super comforting. And then I'm going to just tuck it also underneath at the back, which is going to give a little bit of a lift to the back of the top, kind of back of my head. There. I hope you can see that, and it's just giving a little bit of a tilt in. Just going to get my eye pillow before I snooze back. Good. And then the elbows are coming supported on something. You don't want the elbows just free. There are some yoga postures where we do have the elbows free, and this is really with the intention to kind of open and expand the chest. With this posture, what we're looking to do really is to, rather than to stretch, we're looking to create an opening. So when the elbow is supported, it allows the shoulder to kind of just drop back in very safely. Also have the wrist supported on something. Now that could be that you just rest it on your belly, or you tuck it into your waistband so that you don't feel like your hands are going to slip away, or you can even create a rolled blanket and tuck your hands in there. So once you're in your shape, you can cover your eyes up now. So you can take the eye pillow or the mask or the scarf and just place it over your eyes right now, and come into a place where you are. I'm going to put mine to the side while I'm talking to you. Come into a place where you feel you are able to lean back, able to feel relaxed. And if there are any adjustments that you need to make in this moment, please make them. There'll be nothing happening for you to look at on the screen. I will just, once I've dropped you into the posture, I will just let you rest there in quiet stillness. And then when it's time to bring you out, I'll ring some chimes, and those chimes are just an indicator. You don't actually have to move with the chimes. That's just an indicator that we're going to move pretty soon. So coming back into your posture, if you have needed to make any adjustments to make it extra comfortable, and just anything else that you need to attend to, making sure you won't be disturbed, and that you have a real sense of sacred spaciousness around your being right now. And as you lean back, start to relax the tongue away from the root of the mouth, and start to take your attention inwards to the center of your brain. And from here now, start to place your attention on the sensation of your breath. Noticing the inhale and noticing the exhale. The softness of the breath as you fill everything up, and the softness of the breath as you release, you relax, you allow, and you let go. Inhaling spaciousness, peace. Exhaling softness, releasing, relaxing. And now, to aid your relaxation, you may like to create with your mind's eye a visualization, a boundary around your body. A huge circle of light. Choose your color. You may prefer to create a circle of flowers. You may prefer to create a little moat, some water around you. Or maybe you prefer to create some stones, a little boundary of precious stones around you, gems, crystals, whatever it is for you. Just create that, bring that circle all the way around you right now. And continue to lean back into the breath. Beginning to notice now the stillness of your body. And the refuge there is within that stillness. No need to move. And also now noticing the stillness that is within, the stillness that is not dependent on absence of movement. The stillness that is waiting for you, receiving you, accepting you, loving and knowing you. And continue to rest here now, with your attention now on the sensation of the breath. And if at any time the mind does become drawn away, distracted by sounds or thoughts, plans or memories, just know this is completely normal, and simply congratulate yourself for the awareness of catching the moment, catching the distraction, and then just return your attention to the breath. So we'll rest here now for some time, and I will come and get you when we are done. So if you are ready to move on from the pose, you can begin to deepen your breath now. If you feel you are still dropping in and you want more, trust that knowing and stay in the pose for as long as you need it. If you are coming out now, you can bend one knee and the other slowly follows. And roll gently onto your side and rest here for a few moments. And before you make your way into the rest of your day, notice the effect, the sensations that you have now after around about a 20-minute reset practice. Notice what may feel available to you. You may even like to free write or journal a little bit about the experience to really bed it in. And my invitation is for you to take this practice as often as you can. Maybe once a day, maybe once a week, maybe 3 or 4 times a week. The magic in these postures only happens when we do them, and the transformation comes with the practice. So your invitation is to commit to this practice over our time together here. Wishing you a beautiful day, evening, and I will see you very soon.